What makes a good game a good game? If you ask any gamer, the answer will probably be different almost every time. But I've played a game recently that has one of the coolest and most addictive mechanics I've ever seen. But is that enough to make the game truly something special? Today we're going to find out by looking at one of Steam's flashiest new indie games, Mullet Mad Jack. Greetings fellow gamers, welcome to the Dungeon Rings channel, where we play games about being stuck in a dopamine trap created by evil billionaires to escape our life of being stuck in a dopamine trap created by evil billionaires. So like I said, what is this mechanic? How does it make this game so addictive? And is the game really amazing, or does it eventually get boring? Well, to answer that question, it's yes and no. And to answer the other questions, we need to learn a little bit more about the game itself. Developed by Hammer 95 Studios and released on May 15th, 2024, Mullet Mad Jack combines a classic anime art style with a neon cyberpunk setting. The game is visually stunning, and in it you play as this guy, who has many different nicknames like the protagonist and the moderator. No, not that kind of moderator. You're tasked with saving this girl, an unnamed influencer who has 2 billion followers. She's been kidnapped by this bullet-headed robot billionaire, appropriately named Robillionaire, and we must take control of Jack and his mad mullet and battle against robots, lava, basic platforming, and most importantly time itself to get her back. Here's the twist. We get power-ups paid for by a Twitch chat in the stream of this waifu operator girl guiding us through the levels. She can only afford the power-ups as long as we keep the Twitch chat entertained. More on that later. So to get a good understanding of this one special mechanic and how it works in the context of the rest of the game, let's look at the rest of the game really quick. Specifically the setting, aesthetics, and gameplay. Set nearly a century into the future, the game paints a very freaky picture where humans work as ad watchers for their billionaire robot overlords, earning dopamine as a currency. There's so much funny commentary in this game about how free games end up costing more, which is a topic I covered in my Crow Country video, and plenty of other things that really made me chuckle. We're in the 2090s, there's ads plastered everywhere, and every single thing is as stimulating as it possibly can be. As someone who watches their YouTube videos on 2x speed and can't finish a bowl of cereal without learning obscure Game of Thrones lore from the little man inside my phone, I was happy I finally found a game made for my speed. I could make a whole video on other aspects about the game, but I know that's not why you're here. So let's learn about how the aesthetics and gameplay work together so we know how the mechanic keeps you wanting more. Like I said, we have a classic anime art style and an incredibly banging 80s soundtrack. I promise, even if you were born in 2004, spend 10 minutes in this game and you'll come out saying, "That's what I call music." What I really appreciate is that this entire game is geared towards constant stimulation. With that in mind, the levels are designed the exact same way. They're never longer than a minute, they're 100% action all the time, and you get a time and score at the end of each one. There's also a boss fight every 10 levels. I swear, this game is like Flow State Simulator. Now, on its own, the idea of a fast-paced shooting game with a time and grade at the end of each level is not very special, and here's where we talk about the special mechanic that makes Mullet Mad Jack the addicting, balls-to-the-wall action game that it is. Because your reaction streamer waifu can only afford power-ups for you, as long as you keep chat entertained, you only get 10 seconds to beat the level, and you have no health bar. You must be thinking, but wait, you said the levels are all roughly a minute long, and they are. That 10-second timer is your health bar. So let me unpack this. You gradually lose time, or health, by not killing robots. You lose chunks of time when one of those robots hurts you, and the only way to replenish it is by, you guessed it, killing robots and drinking soda, but don't worry about the soda. So what happens is you need to go at the pace the game sets for you. You can't kill 40 robots and then have a lazy stroll through the level. Your time caps at 10 seconds, even if you get enough kills to go above it. The devs did an amazing job of making it so that you need to be locked in if you want to get even past the first few levels. To top it all off, the more stylish and usually more difficult ways you kill enemies, like kicking them into a fan or kicking them into a vending machine or kicking them into pretty much anything, the more time you get. So you're not only focused on trying to kill robots as quickly and as smoothly as you can, you're trying to do it with style. You get power-ups at the end of each level. Some give you more time, or health, for headshots. Some make you go faster. Some even give you more time for shooting robots in the penis, which makes complete sense. As you progress, you meet harder enemies that all need to be killed in different ways, and levels start to incorporate more hazards like lava and acid. And even though everything around you gets more difficult, the power-ups you obtain don't really scale your survivability with the difficulty of the game. So you have to constantly refine your skills more and more the further you get. And by the end of the game, you have zero bad habits. You're jump kicking drones, you're not shooting the samurai because she can deflect your bullets, you focus on shooting while you're platforming or jumping over lava because you might not have time to reach an enemy as you land. Here's the thing, I know you could say this for every game, all games get harder as you progress, we all know that, but that's the reason we learned about the rest of the game first. The entire game is like this, in subtle ways. The poppy visuals never let you look away. The music is always satisfying. Even the story is about constant stimulation. You feel like a top-level surfer. Not that kind of surfer. I'm obviously talking about CS surf. I don't go outside. It's so smooth, and you just jump and dash and shoot robots in the head or penis, and you start getting in the flow. The music's hitting you. You stop watching the clock and you focus on chaining attacks and getting headshots, and all of a sudden... If you've seen my videos, you know this channel is all about experiencing the beautiful things that games have to offer, and this, however small it is one of them. This isn't a review of Mullet Mad Jack so much, it's just me talking about a part of the game that I like. I wasn't going to review it, but if it's something you want to see, do let me know. To answer the question of does this eventually get boring, for me it did, because I don't like doing the same thing over and over again, and obviously when you hit the end of the game, there is an endless mode, but it wasn't enough to keep me going. That's not to say that you might be different though. If you're a speedrunner, or if you're just the kind of person that enjoys grinding out the same challenge over and over again, I could see you putting hundreds of hours into this game. That's not an exaggeration. Overall, I'd recommend the game. If you're into more nostalgic, classic experiences, you should keep an eye out for my next video as well. If you appreciate the true beauty of video games, then subscribe. I post a new video every week, or at least I try to, and if you want to see me have these experiences on the daily, or every second daily, I'm not sure what my streaming schedule is right now, but a couple times a week, make sure to follow the Twitch channel linked in my description. You can also join my Discord and give me video ideas, or tell me you hate me. Don't tell me you hate me. And consider supporting me on Patreon too. I plan to put exclusive content on there, although I'm not exactly sure what yet, so help me figure that out in the comments, through Discord, in my Twitch chat, or wherever. Peace out, gamers.